episode 38. Hello everyone and welcome to Wolff&Schafe podcast. My name is Magdalena and this is my little kitty co-host. Right now upside down. Domarat. Meow. If you're a returning viewer, thanks so much for coming back. It means so much to me. And if you're a new viewer, this is knitting, spinning and hand dyeing yarn podcast in Switzerland. I come from Poland, but I live here in a little town of Adliswil, which is near Zurich. And I live here with my husband and a 2-year-old son. So yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry under my full name, which is Magdalena Wolff with double F. And if you enjoy my show, please subscribe to my channel, and thanks to that you won't miss my updates. And my show notes are always in the down bar below here, and helpful links you can find in the video descriptions here on YouTube. And oh yeah, I should mention that we have a new webpage where you can find information about my yarns, Wolff&Schafe yarns, and the address is www.wolffiowce.com. So we could start with knitting, and I have some good news. So I put some dent into my Wolff shawl, yay! It's of course not finished, but I made a huge improvement. So, where is my marker? Ta-da! I knitted this much of the border. So it makes a total of 15 leaves out of 41, so it's still quite a lot to do, but you can see they are pretty. I enjoy them more, especially after the class I took that, sorry, needles hitting the table, especially after I took that class on Craftsy, knit faster with continental knitting, and yeah, I could check some of the details of my knitting, and for example, it turned out that I did yarn overs the opposite way, and it made knitting lace more difficult, and now it's more fun. So I'm, enjoying it more, and it's awesome. So I still have this much to make, but it will be fine because I got more familiar with the chart, so it just goes faster. And the pattern is Wolff&Woods, just Wolff&Woods. It's Wolff&Woods shawl by Agata Mackiewicz, known also as Amanita. And the yarn is my hand-dyed yarn on my Sigmund base, which is 100% sustainable merino. And this is in Sakura colorway, and this is on the coldest winter night. And I'm knitting on my Knit Pro carbons, interchangeable. I believe it's 3.5 millimeters, which makes it US size 4. I have still this much yarn left, and I hope it will be enough. Because with lace you never know. It's the eyelets, they take quite a lot of yarn, so we will see. Am I blurry? I think I'm a bit blurry. Is that better? I hope so. Okay, a sip of tea. I must tell you guys, after I came back from Japan and I brought this lovely teapot with me, I've been using it literally every day. I love it so much. I just love it. And this is my cute Totoro. teacup. Excellent. So yes, this is my Wolf Woods, and the other project, I've been mentioning that some episodes ago, but if you tuned in just recently, you might have not heard about it. It's knitted knockers, so knitted prosthetics for breast cancer survivors. There's an organization started in the US, but it's spreading all over the world. And my friend Kim and me, we contacted the founder, Barb, and she was very helpful and nice to us. We wanted to start a group here in Zurich. So we started last Friday, and Kim was the organizer and I was the technician, meaning I was in charge of materials, information about materials, needle sizes, gauge, stuff like that. I went to a yarn store to choose the yarn that would be proper for this project, which means it should be ideally machine washable soft cotton. So yeah. We started, and I knitted only this much because I was also, during our meeting, I was answering some questions about the pattern, and as I said, I was the person in charge of technicalities. And I'm using yarn by Lang Yarns. It's called Tisa, and as I said, it's 100% cotton, machine washable. They say even 60 degrees. And it's colorful. And on their page, knittedknockers.org, they say that people mostly request like flesh colors, which are hard to come by in yarn actually, or pastel colors, but some are very happy with more interesting colors. So I chose mostly pastel colors, but I just chose one that has some patterning going on. And yeah, this is my knocker. I've already knit 2 pairs. One I have here with me. This is cup C, and cup A is already at Kim's place because that's where we collect our knitted knockers. And yeah, it's going to be exciting. And in 3 weeks we have a next meeting, and during that time we can also work at home. And our first goal is to knit 20 pairs, so we can, it would be some kind of a starting kit to give to a certain clinic here in Zurich, and then they can offer the knitted knockers to women who need them. And after we reach that goal, we will see what demand there is for them, and yeah, and we can take orders for specific sizes. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm pretty excited. So the needles I'm using are Addi Colibri, I think my favorite DPNs. They are metal, but they are very light and really nice to touch, not too slippery, and yeah, and they are in fun colors. They also have different tips, so you can choose whether you prefer blunter tips or sharper ones. So I of course prefer sharper ones, so I always use the sharp tip to pick my stitches. And yay, this is it. Knitted knockers. My Cozy Memories blanket has only 1 square more because soon I will show you the project that consumed most of my knitting time this week. So I added this square, and it's my hand-dyed yarn from my very first dyeing adventures, let's say. I call this colorway Maple and Pine because it has all those greens and a little bit of rust and like olive green. So, yay. And I knitted a pair of socks from this yarn, and I still had some left. So I have one square here. It was the very second square of my blanket. And as I said, my rule is not to use the same yarn in the next row. But I'm in the third row now, so I'm allowed to. Because I want to use up all those pretty yarns in small amount that I have in small amounts. So yay, and I have like a gazillion ends to weave in. But what can you do? And I'm knitting right now on Knit Pro Zing DPNs in 3mm size, which is I think US 3? No, US 3 would be 3.25. Anyway, something close to that, and I'm waiting for Haya needles. I ordered them, and my parents are visiting on the 10th of November, and they will bring me, hopefully, they will bring me sharper needles, because as I was saying many times before, these are too blunt for me. So yeah, my other project from before is my Café au lait tam, and it's by Catherine C. I did not knit on it, and I blame it on the needles. Of course, not on myself. Why would I blame myself? So the needles I was using, I told you these are the shorter needles on a short cable, perfect for knitting small round objects like hats, but I do not enjoy wooden needles. They are just not working for me, and I thought, yeah, but I have these needles and I've knitted quite a lot of hats on them. I should yeah, just use them, because I don't need to switch needles. I just go in rounds, around and round, like my son says. But yeah, I felt put off by the thought that I will be going like really, it will require a lot of effort from me. So I decided that I should just switch to Magic Loop, because I have my carbons, Knit Pro carbons, interchangeable, and those are also Knit Pro but Symphony, meaning this very pretty, because when I was starting I was really in love with those pretty needles, pretty wooden needles. So yeah, you can see they are very nice. But they don't work for me. So I prefer metal needles or these fancy carbon needles to them. And I just switched yesterday evening to Magic Loop. I had my long cable, interchangeable cable. I attached it to my 4mm carbons, which is US size 6, I know that. And yeah, I hope it will work better then. Yeah, I think I made like just a couple of rows yesterday. This is my progress keeper. So I hope it will work better for me. And the yarn is Swedish pinned. Just a moment, where is the... Yeah, so it's Swedish pinned. 70% blue face Leicester, 20% silk and 10% cashmere in winter rosen colorway. And it's so pretty. I love this yarn. It's also so very soft, but the silk gives it kind of the silky feel. It's not completely squishy. It has this silkiness to it. So yay, I love the colors. And you can see the lace forming. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, it is very pretty and very simple, and it's a free pattern, just if you were wondering. Okay, am I blurry? No, I do it manually because it works the best this way, but sometimes I have poor eyesight, so I don't see very well on that small screen whether I'm blurry or not. I hope I'm not. And finally, my favorite project of all right now. Oh, and it lives in my Molly Klein design unicorn bag. Yay. Oh yeah, did I show you that I have a unicorn stitch marker? Let's show him. Yes, and my progress keeper is a pair with the unicorn because it's a rainbow. So yes, I will talk more about unicorns later in the episode, in the live section. So last week I showed you that I have cast on a sweater, and you guys, I've been obsessed with this project. You can probably tell. Yes, I have this much done. So where is my progress keeper? Oh, it's here. It's my little apple. So I made this much in 1 week. Of course, it's worsted weight yarn, so it goes so much faster than, for example, this one. But yeah, I have not that much left till the end of the body, and then I will be working on the sleeves. The pattern is Flax by Tinka Knits, and it's also a free pattern that I decided to customize a bit. So I made, instead of a garter stitch panel on the sleeves, I decided on C-stitch, and I love how it works with this yarn. And on the ribbing I added some fake cables. It's cute. And the C-stitch. And it's so much fun because I usually just follow patterns. Oh yeah, I have the shawl here. So I used these fake cables that are here. Yeah, you see. I just added them to my sweater. So where was I? I'm knitting on my Knit Pro interchangeables. They are 5mm needles, which makes it, I think, US size 8, so pretty thick. The yarn is worsted weight, and it's my Romulus, Wolff&Schafe Romulus, which is 100% superwash merino, and the colorway is Willow. And I'm so happy with it. It's also very soft, and yeah, I'm so excited. And to this excitement, it adds the fact that I could add my little ideas. Yeah, as I said, I usually just follow patterns because I'm not feeling that confident yet with creating my own things, but I'm just starting with small things and it makes me happy. So yay! And I'm knitting the body on 60 centimeter cable. It's interchangeable, so yeah, I could just attach it here. And I started the collar, because you start with the collar. I just started on DPNs because I was pretty sure I had a shorter cable, 50 centimeter cable, but it just disappeared. And I'm completely sure I had it because I knitted a cowl for my husband and for my friend Tom. I certainly used that cable. It's an interchangeable cable, but it's gone. So anyway, I just knitted on DPNs up till here, more or less, when I had already enough stitches just to switch to my 60 centimeter cable. So yay, this is my sweater, and it actually seems I will have it ready for Christmas if I don't stop working on it. It's just so exciting! It would be my fastest sweater ever. So yes, this is it. There is no spinning this week, you guys. I'm sorry, but that's how it is. I was otherwise occupied, so I did not spin. And as for dyeing, those of you who follow me on Instagram know that I have All Saints Day update in my shop. So I have my All Saints Day colorway dyed on various bases, from sock yarn to worsted. So if you like this colorway, you should buy now. I mean by now I mean this month, because they won't be available later. They are seasonal. I love it. I might knit a pair of socks with this yarn. So yeah, they are a seasonal colorway, so they will be available only till the end of November. And yeah, this is for my crafty stuff, and now my last segment, life. So I have just watched the last unicorn animation. Yay! And it was awesome. And yeah, I've been wanting to watch it for quite a while now, but I wanted to read the book first. So once I read the book, I watched the animation, and it really was remarkably close to the book. As I read afterwards, the author of the book wrote also the script for the movie, so it's no wonder actually. And I absolutely adored Christopher Lee's performance as King Hoggart. It was just so perfect. He was just so perfect for that role. Amazing. What else? I loved the animation, most of all at the beginning of the movie, when you get all those images borrowed from medieval tapestries with unicorns and those little fountains, those gardens. So typical to those times. I was just in love. And also I discovered that the animators were later they formed Studio Ghibli of Hayao Miyazaki, which is the most famous animation studio in Japan. And you could tell, absolutely, when I saw the unicorn, I was like, this looks so Japanese. And exactly, I was right. So yeah, it's an amazing story and I love it. I regret that I did not have any chance of watching it when I was a kid, because then I would be completely enchanted. And yeah, it was awesome. Also, yesterday was Halloween, and as you know, we don't have any special things that we do on Halloween, but I heard by mostly watching podcasts that you guys watch Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas, and I've seen the main character here and there, but I never watched the movie. Can you imagine? So I said to my husband yesterday, you know, it's Halloween night, let's watch it. We got tired and did not, I mean, it was late, so we did not finish the movie since we had, this weekend we had the time change, so we are all time confused. So we got tired early, so we will probably finish it today. But anyway, it's an amazing animation, oh my god. But if I were a kid, I would have such nightmares, oh my god. So yeah, looking forward to that. And also I did have some candy prepared, but no kids came to us, so I will eat it, Stasha will eat it, Gleb will eat it. As I said, Halloween is, I mean, trick or treating is not that popular here in Switzerland. And yeah, I've seen some decorations here and there, but I don't think it's a thing here. So that's why nobody came. But for example, Stasio had some games at daycare yesterday, and he came back home and said, Stasio was a zombie. I wonder if they took pictures, because they painted their faces. So Stasio was a zombie, and I'm really curious how he looked like. When he got back home, he was already cleaned, but it must have been fun. So other than that, the thing that also I was very occupied last week was game playing. So there is this game, Bewitchered, which is based on an amazing book series called the Witcher saga, and it's by a Polish author, Andrzej Sapkowski. And they are pretty old. He started publishing first stories in the 80s. I started reading them when I was just at the beginning of high school, so around 15 years old. Well, 14, 15, something like that. And I was so amazed, because, you know, by then, as fantasy, I knew mostly Tolkien, meaning Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, Silmarillion, stuff like that. And then I get a story that is also fantasy, but it is so different, because there's a lot of humor there. There is a much more realism. if I can put it so, and the characters to die for, really. So the game is based on the books. The story happens after the end of the saga, of course, and it's a trilogy. So I played number 1 and number 2, and then number 3 finally arrived, and I knew that if I once started, I would be glued to the computer. So I was really reluctant to start because I wanted to do other things in my free time. But I finally started, and yes, the game is amazing, and I highly recommend it. And what else? It's so beautiful. The graphics there, so beautiful. Sense of humor is there as well. I mean, it's more of the like a darker fantasy, but with a lot of humor. So yeah. I spent a lot of time on this. They also, you have traditional quests. There's a main storyline, and there are like other smaller quests you can do. There are Witcher's job quests, meaning you have to kill some monsters. And there's also this like game in a game quest. It's a card game invented for the purpose of the game. I mean, the name of the game and the game itself, it appears in the books, but you don't really know all the rules and stuff like that. So they just made them up, and they are great, really. And you can collect cards inside of the game, like you come to a new village and you talk to some people who sell stuff, and you can find that they have cards that you didn't have yet. So yeah, I'm completely in love. Hence no spinning this week. I think it will be a very short episode because of that, but hey, I think I did really quite a lot this week. I had this Knitted Knockers meeting, which was amazing, and yeah, today we have All Saints Day, and I'm a bit sad because I'm far away from home. I can't visit the graves because that's what we do for All Saints Day. So I just bought some flowers and some candles, and I lit them on our balcony. Just you know, to have my little All Saints Day here, far away from home. And as I said, my parents will be coming on the 10th of November for 4 days, because we have a long weekend in Poland then. So yay! Guests! Okay, so this is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me and spending your time together chatting about crafty things. And happy knitting, happy spinning, and we will see you next time. Yeah, bye!
Wake up, darling glory. What makes you sleep so sound? That revenue man, he's a-comin'.